versus all around, that's what we're testing today. And it's because I've realized a lot of helmet brands are giving you this option. Think about what Specialized has. It's the Evade versus the Prevail. Trek is doing the same thing. I think it's the Ballista and the Velocious. And then, of course, channel sponsor Kask has their version, the Utopia Y, Aero optimized, and then the kind of the all-around Elemento. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to test the claims of the Aero helmet. Is this actually faster, or does it just look faster? To do that, we're going to use the tool that we used in the last video, the Aero sensor. We're going to find out down to the watt if, in fact, this helmet is faster, and if so, by how much. And then I'm going to talk about what you're getting when you're getting more of the all-around helmet, and why it might be the case that a slower helmet might actually be a faster helmet for other reasons we're going to get into. Hang in there. Let's do some testing. All right, we got the results loaded up from today, and I'm not going to tease you guys with it. Here's what we learned. The Aero helmet is in fact faster. Here's the raw data from the Aero sensor. I did 4 runs. I did 2 each. Each run consisted of 4 out and backs, so it was a lot of time out there testing these 2 helmets, and we got consistent results. As you can see, the Aero helmet is faster. It was you can see runs 1 and 3 by some CDA numbers. Let's see, by like 0.07 CDA. What does that actually mean? Well, we've broken that down in terms of watts. I want to paint 2 separate scenarios for you guys to help you understand what these numbers mean. The first one is, let's just say you're climbing by yourself, not in the draft, or you're in the draft, but you're mid-pack in a race. So in both of those situations, you're feeling about 15 kilometers or about 9 or 10 miles an hour of headwind. And although the Aero helmet is faster, I mean, look at this, guys. We're talking about a half a watt, maybe less of a difference. So yeah, it's faster, but like this is like a rounding error. It is very insignificant. Now, what if you are breaking away in a crit, right? Or you're bridging to the break. Those extreme situations, those consequential situations in races, and let's say you're going 50 kilometers an hour. Let's plug those numbers in. Suddenly this looks a bit more consequential. Now, this isn't the difference that we saw in the last video about changing your position on the bike. I won't spoil those results, but as I'm alluding to, they are huge. But we're still talking about a 8-watt difference here in the data when you're going 50 kilometers an hour, which is about 30 miles an hour or so. So is this justification to buy the Aero helmet over the all-around helmet? That's the question. And to answer that, let's talk about what you're getting when you're buying one helmet versus the other, starting with the Utopia Y, of course, the Aero offering. Now, we've determined that it's faster, but at what cost? Because generally, Aero helmets have 2 shortcomings. That is heat dissipation, and that is weight. So how does the Utopia Y do in either of these categories? Let's start with weight, because that one's pretty easy. I have a scale here. Let's see if the Utopia Y is in fact heavy. So we have 258, oh, that's not going to work, 258 grams compared to the Elemento, which is 330 grams. So the Aero helmet is actually lighter. This shocked me, and I actually knew before I even weighed them, because the weight is so much different. I could actually feel in my hand and on my head that the Utopia Y. So this is actually kind of unique. That Kask, their all-around helmet, is actually heavier than the Aero helmet. Okay, so of course that begs the question, why on earth would you want to spend an extra $100 on a helmet that both tested slower and is heavier? Well, there's actually a bit more to it than that, because the helmet that tested faster might actually be the slower helmet. It might be the case that you are going to overheat and lose any benefit, which is pretty small, to be honest, that the Aero helmet provides. So these are considerations. Now, today wasn't particularly hot. I imagine that the Elemento which has more premium materials. It has this carbon shell, and it has this gel insert on the inside. That gel insert in particular is going to keep you cooler when it gets especially hot. So this might be the choice for a day where we're doing a lot of climbing. It's especially hot, something like that. But for your run-of-the-mill crit racing, my choice, my preference remains the Utopia Y. But in any case, I think both of these offerings are fantastic from Kask. I want to thank them again for providing these helmets for this video. And we have plenty more of these testing videos to come. So get subscribed, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. I'll catch you in the next one.